sweethearts. We are gathered here today to talk about the incredible, accessible, and pretty fun method for opening up and feeling really wonderful, even in the face of the stuff that challenges you the most, through tapping. So we're going to cover who is tapping for, what is tapping, why do we want to tap, and how do we tap, and where should we be tapping. And I just used the word should. I'm going to address that right now. There aren't really as many shoulds as we think there are in life. So I want you, I'm asking you, I'm requesting, which is different than a demand because I'm not going to come after you if you don't respond to this request. But I'm asking you to participate if it really, really feels in your body like a yes. If it feels enticing, energizing, entertaining. If it feels like a yes, please join me. And if not, maybe another time, or maybe something else is better suited for you at this time. So who is tapping for? Tapping is pretty accessible for everyone because it's so flexible, as we will discuss as we move through our conversation today. I am particularly inspired to make these videos, this set of videos right now, from a request from my cousin who has 3 gorgeous girls. And so this is kind of made for kids, but also everyone has a kid, has a deep innocence and playful spirit within them, even if it's seemingly very, very buried. So I'm gonna say that this is for everyone, but particular shout out to Clara Jean and Sadie and Ava, who are inspiring this series, and their sweet mama, Erica, who requested my attention on this subject. I'm very, very grateful, and I'm very, very glad to be here. So, who is tapping for? It's for everyone who feels willing, who feels that yes in their body, who wants to playfully attend to the challenges of life with being present in their own body and using their own attention and playful spirit to shift what feels really difficult or hard or challenging into more easy, open energy that just really feels more fun, more like love, more like pleasure and delight, even with that hard stuff. So what is tapping? Tapping is also called Emotional Freedom Technique, or EFT. And all it really is using your fingers or your hands, or someone else can also do this for you if you don't have the mobility needed to do your own tapping. We're going to be tapping on various points on our upper body, and those points, you've maybe or probably heard of acupuncture, where in Chinese medicine they use needles on meridian points, and that creates movement in the system, especially where energy, charged energy, feelings, emotions can get really stuck in our body. And then that, if something is stuck in a pathway, right, that creates a block, and then the energy can't get through. So what tapping is it's like loosening those blocks so that energy can move through freely. Then we feel free as opposed to stuck. Or it helps us to feel our feelings and let them be moving flowing, transient, as opposed to defining our reality in an ongoing way because it's stuck or stagnant in our system. So that also got into, why do we tap? We tap, one, to create movement in our personal system. And movement in our own, individual bubble usually also reflects out into the world. So if there's something out there that you're not really content with, creating movement in your own bubble often encourages movement in outer external situations as well. Which brings us to a second reason, is that we want to feel safe and secure in our experiences in life, right? And we're trained. Society, most people are kind of groomed in the direction of finding safety, reaching for safety and security from outside sources. But the most radical, delightful, highly accessible, sustainable sense of safety and security comes from your relationship with yourself and your own body being in that bubble. And so, what we're doing when we're tapping is we're really bringing our own attention to our own body and our own energy bubble. And that, your own attention, is like this magical offering to yourself that helps you to feel held. And that is what kids and all people of all ages, their inner child, that's what we're all craving. That's what we're all looking for. And if we're lucky, we get that sense of being held from other people in our lives, or from Mother Nature, from feeling, a chair or the earth holding us. And we can feel that connection to something that makes us feel held. So tapping really increases and invites our connection with ourselves, right? We're literally connecting various body parts. We're forming a strength and a playfulness in connection with ourselves, so that we're building an ongoing, increasing, really thriving sense of safety and security inside ourselves, because we're holding ourselves in this magical quality of attention and presence. So how do we do it? It's pretty straightforward, but there are also flexible options. And again, it's like, listen to yourself. That's part of the practice. What is your body? What are you asking for? Maybe it feels really good for you to just keep tapping on your hands. That's where we usually start. When we set up, we ground, we become really present in our bodies, in our chair or wherever we're sitting, because this practice is really meant to bring that attention, to bring the power of our mind into communication and presence and flow, circulation with our body. So we want to get into our body, which we'll do. We'll practice, and we'll practice lots together. So it might feel really good to you to tap on one certain point, and you're invited to do that. I'll start with showing you all of the points that we're going to go through. And it might be different from time to time, because I do treat this as an intuitive practice where I trust where my attention is called and it's allowed to be playful and changing. It is a system or a structure to play with, but there's room to make it your own in the moment each time that you practice. So, classic EFT tapping this is called the karate chop point, and you can do both hands or either. I'll often switch in between. And then we go to the top of the head, and you can tap. You don't even have to actually touch your body if you're feeling really sensitive. You can You know, our energy field stretches all around us, so we can really access those sensitive points without even touching. But if you feel comfortable to do some light tapping, we'll do the top of the head, and then we'll do above the eye, kind of the corners of your eyebrows, and you can use 1 finger or 2 fingers or 3 or kind of even all 4 fingers. And then we do the temples. And then we do beneath the eyes, like on your cheekbone. And then beneath the nose, on kind of the ridge line above your teeth or even touching your teeth. And then on the chin, like on that, mine's pretty prominent, but that line, you'll feel a little ridge below your lip and where your chin starts, right there. And then we'll go to the chest. You'll feel your bones there. And then just below that, there's kind of a dip. And we'll go there. And if it's not exact, like, it's totally okay. Trust where your fingers land too, because your body's really, really smart. And you actually have a really great relationship with that body wisdom. We're just kind of often or sometimes out of practice about listening and trusting and respecting it. And then sometimes we'll also do the heart, which isn't in typical EFT, but I find that it can feel really good doing some light tapping there. You know, that's where we really want to land. That's where we want to come from in life. Is the fire of your heart can just really heal everything, can dissolve all the issues, all the fear, all the feelings are safe to be felt when you have a powerful relationship with your heart. And that's what we're here to allow and do. And then there's under the armpit, kind of like a hand width beneath your armpit there on your ribs. Again, don't worry, it's not about overthinking or feeling like it has to be perfect. It's about really trusting your own relationship with your body and playing with it this way. So tapping there, and again on either side. I don't know, I don't often do both sides, but that covers all the points. And so I will mention that it can create, you know, those benefits that we talked about. There's a possibility, a likelihood, that those will be amplified, that those will be experienced bigger for you if you do this with both hands mirroring, because we want to allow both sides of the body to balance, to be in flow. And so doing both sides can encourage that. So I do encourage you to, at least sometimes when you're tapping, try to do both sides with both hands in this rhythmic way that is offering yourself understanding that the parts of you are mirroring and in a balanced relationship, which is a whole subject I could talk about forever. But it's simple at the same time. So, alternatives. As we talked about, you can stay on any of those points, and you can just use one hand if that's what you have available, or if that's what you're feeling like doing. You can just trust what you're drawn to do in the moment. And if you find that you're always going to the same thing, then maybe ask yourself, like lean into the playfulness and be like, oh, I kind of been doing that same thing and it does feel really good, but maybe I'll try, maybe I can try doing this point instead, or doing the full, like following Kelsey in one of her videos and doing all of the points with both of my hands, just to see how that feels. It's all an experiment. Life is a delicious experiment. And I really hope, but also trust, that this tapping together will deepen and widen your relationship with what an awesome experiment life is and how much fun we can have with it. So where do we do tapping? You know, if you feel safest, maybe if this is new to you, go where you feel like most comfortable and safe. Maybe that's your room, or just somewhere in your house, or maybe you want to invite someone that you really like being around to do it with you. Any of those are good options. And eventually the idea is that this is a really accessible practice that you can do anywhere, anytime, with any subject, and with any other person. And as you become more and more playful and comfy, feeling the ease and flow and openness in your system and in your relationship with life, then it might be something that you find yourself doing, in a public library surrounded by other people, or at a bus stop, or in the middle of your classroom, or in the middle of the playground at recess. Any of those are options, right? And it's about what you choose and following that feeling of yes, and trusting when it crosses your mind as an awesome idea. And last but not least is, when do I do tapping? We can apply this method, this way of playing with ourselves, to absolutely any subject. So if you're feeling something that you're struggling with, that you don't really want to keep feeling, or you're encountering a situation in life that you don't want to live through again and again and again, this is a great modality to play with. So examples, like you're feeling really sad about something and feel kind of like really stuck and heavy, or you just feel a little bit alone with it, or like you want to help it to move as opposed to getting stuck in your system, like you're willing to feel it and be with it, but you don't need to hold on to it, right? So when is like, if we notice that there are feelings or stories or thoughts or situations that we feel like we're really holding on to, and you can often tell that because it cycles through your mind a lot, like a lot of your attention is going towards that. Great thing to do tapping with. And you can always send me requests to create tapping videos on anything that you notice about your life if you want support to do tapping with that. So when we notice that there are repeat thoughts or repeat sense of being stuck in a feeling, or a feeling being like bigger than we feel like we can handle, we come to tapping because it relaxes the system, it opens the system up, and we begin to realize that we can actually handle so much more than we were trained to think that we can, that we were really, really powerful when we have this relationship with our body beings, and it's designed to be like a lightning rod for like electric charged energy, which is what feelings are. And we're designed to be able to let them move through us with ease and grace and kindness. And tapping is really great when we forgot or didn't know how to handle something with ease and grace and kindness. Tapping is really great to use when we want more ease and grace and kindness for ourselves, or in situations with other people and things. So I could just keep chatting about how great this is and when and why, but I'll leave it at that. Please feel free to ask your questions or leave your comments, or again, send in any requests, and I will have some examples coming soon. And I'll be posting these videos to Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. So you can reach me at any of those places, and be sure to follow along if this is feeling like a huge hell yes in your body, no matter how big or small your body is, no matter what is maybe possibly or definitely probably stuck in your sensitive body being right now. I would love to play with you. I would love to get flowing and feeling easy and graceful and kind with ourselves and with life, no matter the challenges that are showing up for us as individuals. And I think that it would be really great if you did send in requests, because the chances are someone else can probably really relate, if not all of us. And so it's really helpful when we share honestly about where we're feeling stuck, because that can help us significantly, and it can also really help other people. So I look forward to hearing from you, and I really look forward to tapping with you on a regular basis. All my love.